latest drug causing havoc across Latin America is the new compound Si02, which is being sold by the Peruvian San Juan Cartel. After the success of my last report on the Bolivian Salt Flat Cartel, I've headed to Peru to investigate for another special Vice News report. In this episode, we get an in-depth insight into the cartel's operations, including interviews with various members, from the leader to the head of weapons. We also expose the darker side of the cartel with our exclusive interview with Dr. Jesus from the University of Machu Picchu, as well as local businesses and members of the public. I started by heading to the Wacachina Lagoon, which might appear as an idealistic tourist destination, but is actually the heart of the Peruvian San Juan cartel operation. The leader of the cartel, who is asked to remain anonymous, has agreed to show us around and give me a closer look at their operations.
As you can see, in the main area where we harvest the product, Si02, and I'll show you firsthand. This is A-grade shit. I go up north in the beginning to two social workers that got kidnapped. Then I just work my way up. Now I'm the fucking kingpin of this shit.
So you're going to show us how you collect the product?
This is a traditional method of collecting sand. I'll give you a rundown of how we do it. See, we got gravity, we have sand, we have the bag. Let's go. Some of the finest fucking Peruvian sand that you can get out here. This is how the ancient Incas used to do it. It's a tough run, but that's all we gotta do. Fucking bag it up, mate.
We then headed to the coast to a small town called Paracas, where the cartel exports most of their product.
This is where we export the product. As you can see, this is the port. This ship here, it's why we're bringing it on the tubes. As you can see the product there. They put them in the sea lines, they take it out to the fucking Gulf Stream, and the trade winds carry it to our main market in the Pacific.
We then headed to the safe house on the coast, where we met more members of the cartel. How long have you guys been working for the cartel?
5 years.
And what are your main responsibilities?
You can advise some weapons. I'm the lead character in between those deals.
And what's this guy's role over here?
He's the enforcer.
What do you think about Si02, the new drug in Peru?
It's the best drug ever.
Do you pay off the local police?
We do, if it suits us, we pay off the local police.
So if you have
Enough
any...
of that. I've had...
We then left Paracas and headed to Machu Picchu, where we were given special access to interview Dr. Jesus, who has a PhD in Si02 from the prestigious University of Machu Picchu.
So, Dr. Jesus, firstly, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us. And I just had a couple questions to ask you. Firstly, what are your thoughts on the San Juan cartel? And do you have any comments regarding what their activities in the region?
Activities like the cartel do are coming from ancestral times. Si02 it's It's a component that can have a lot of fun for. And now we are with this industry, we are running out all the sand, and we are losing the opportunity to show these beautiful sand dunes to the next generations. We need to make some regulations and actually try to stop the cartel. Maybe it's because I'm with the mask and I feel more free to talk about this, but like a doctor, I can realize that all kind of components has a kind of impact in the human body, and actually it's really important that we be aware that this component has a really impact in the children. So we need to take care of them, trying to explain all the limits that their bodies can take, and also try to having more control of the industry, because if we have impact in the children, what is going to be our future?
Wow. Thank you so much,
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Jesus. It was a pleasure talking with you.
After hearing this harrowing report from Dr. Jesus, we then decided to see what some of the local community thought of the cartel.
How you going, Long?
El cartel es bueno, el cartel ayuda a la gente.
A raíz de que ha llegado el cartel, la economía de Paracas ha crecido.
Then, fresh off a big sale of Si02 to a group of gringos, the leader of the cartel insisted we join him on a night out. The more time I spent with the leader of the cartel, the more I started to pity him and the lifestyle that he'd fallen into. He was trafficked to Peru by the cartel at a young age, and in a country with little other opportunities, he had no other options but to fall into a life of crime. And with demand for Si02 drastically rising across Peru and Latin America, sadly more and more youngsters are going to follow suit. However, as he was out partying, there were millions of people across the world having their lives ruined by Si02 addiction. I came to find that the leader of the cartel's one salvation from his trauma was his pet cat.
Barry once again coming out with the support. This man helps me get through my fucking trauma, mate. Now Barry, let's go to the fucking club.
This cat is the dealer.
He is still.
How about Charlie?
He was on the cartel. He's out here. He's not allowed to get in. He's snowing around these parts. All right, Barry. Off you go, Barry. Not tonight. Not tonight. Off you go.